So do you want to start talking about...
Yeah, my name is Mark Simon. I'm the Managing Director of Farm Power. Farm Power is a renewable power generation company, an electricity generation company dedicated to generating renewable electricity from a variety of sources, but most notably solar photovoltaic electricity. And today, the 30th of August 2011, we've launched and opened, with the help of the Lord Lieutenant of Dorset, the largest solar PV power station in the county of Dorset. What we're about, why we're doing this, is because the United Kingdom faces a number of really thorny challenges, not least of which is our dependence on fossil fuels. And over the next 10 years, we're going to have to close a lot of our existing generating capacity, which will potentially increase our reliance on fossil fuels unless we can do something about it in terms of renewables. And so my objective is to increase the body of renewables through small-scale distributed renewable generation. Farm Power is looking therefore to build a network of distributed power stations, both solar and micro hydro, not wind. Wind is a rather bigger project and rather harder to achieve. And with that in mind, the Sleep Farm solar power station, which we opened today, is a means of delivering that, and we're delivering 500 kilowatts of solar PV here in a organic farm in Dorset. In terms of biodiversity, we think that's extremely important, as I hope most people do, but the nature of solar PV is that it is not polluting, either from noise pollution, environmental waste, or indeed even the light pollution. It is not visible from anywhere, and in this case we are actually providing what I can only describe as a sort of haven for biodiversity for the next 25 years as we rent this 3-acre site in a beautiful part of Dorset near Poole. And so the objective is here over 25 years to generate 500,000 kilowatt hours, 500,000 units a year, which is roughly that consumed by 200 British households, or twice the consumption of the local village of Minster, and do so in a environmentally protective fashion.
Brilliant. And why do you think it's why do you think we need to build these solar plants?
Okay. Do you want to record? You are.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to do a lot of renewables. We need to do a lot of different forms of renewables. Solar is only part of it. But on relatively low-grade agricultural land, as we have here in Dorset, there are a number of ways to produce a useful crop. One is to turn it into wheat and silage, and the other is to turn it into electricity. And that's what we're attempting to do here. So we need to have a number of different forms of renewables, and solar is only part of that. So I'm not saying we have the whole picture, but this is a really important one. The thing about solar is that it's very popular. People tend to like it. It doesn't, as I say, pollute it. This particular solar power station is not visible from anywhere other than on the farm, and within the farm hardly visible at all even then. It has 1,780 panels in 9 rows and 29 inverters which convert the DC electricity to AC power, which is stepped up through a substation to 11,000 kilovolts and delivered into Minster on the local grid. So if you like, it's Dorset power for Dorset consumers.
And do you think if we don't take the step to create renewable energy plants like this, what do you think will be the consequences?
I think we will have missed a huge opportunity. We already have. We are the last significant major country in Europe to have gone down this track. We have learned a bit from their mistakes. But when I look at Germany, a country whose solar resources are pretty much similar to ours, although it's further south, it's generally darker than we are. They have literally covered the roof of every possible spot in Germany with solar power, and we are way behind. We have to do this in all sorts of settings, on the roofs of schools, in the occasional brownfield site, in the occasional field site, wind power where we can do it. Micro hydro, I think, is a very good fit with the rainfall patterns here in the British Isles. But all these things need to be done, and they need to be done quickly. We need to quickly educate ourselves, and hopefully here at Sleep Farm we've begun to educate the population of Dorset accordingly. Okay, last question.
And what do you think is the... Do you think that this has a sort of very unique fashion compared to say, coal-fired power stations on the local wildlife?
Regarding the impact on biodiversity and wildlife, it couldn't be more different. Sleep Farm is a 4-generation family farm, an organic farm, and the Selby Bennett family have spent an enormous amount of time to ensure that it protects the environment around the place, and you can see that behind me. The crucial thing is that we do so while protecting biodiversity, and underneath these panels we will have beetle banks. We will protect the enclosure. The 3-acre enclosure is fenced. No dogs will get in there, no deer will get in there, no foxes will even get in there. So invertebrates, small mammals and birds will live there. I don't need to tell you this is different to a coal-fired power station. Nuclear has a whole bunch of other issues, but I think nuclear has a whole bunch of benefits too. We need all of these things. God forbid we also need gas-fired power stations, I'm afraid. But we certainly need to rebalance ourselves in favour of renewables, and we need to do so quickly. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thanks so much.
Okay.
And could you just say who you are?
Oh, I did at the beginning, but
brilliant.
I'll do it again. Okay, my name is Mark Simon. I'm the Managing Director of Farm Power. Farm Power is a renewable power generation company based in the south of England.